So what did you end up working out with your uncle then? So we came off of that call.
1200.
You're a good negotiator, you are.
What you were doing in like the space, the Airbnb space, before you met me and Mo?
For meeting yourselves, I have been in the Airbnb space for a few years now.
And so would you say you were at all hesitant before starting and jumping onto the program?
No, I feel like the time is right now. Like I was saying to you,
That's it.
everything's about timing and alignment.
And so how do you feel as though your understanding around the whole business, around Airbnb has changed in just a week of being with us?
So it's changed a lot because it's made me dive back in with confidence.
What made you feel like this is the stage where you need some support on your journey?
I feel like
Yo, it's Joel and Mo. We're back with a client interview today. So we've made a little trip down to London to see one of our mentees, Cora. She's doing big things already. We went to see one of our units, so check that out in another video. And yeah, we're just gonna be diving into a bit of an interview with Cora. Cora, tell us a bit about yourself and what you were doing in like the space, the Airbnb space, before you met me and Mo.
and before meeting yourselves, I have been in the Airbnb space for a few years now. I currently only have one left. I had three. One was based in Luton and two of them were in Canary Wharf. The Luton one, after Luton left the Football League, it kind of went downhill. So it wasn't making profitable sense. So I gave that back last year, October. Canary Wharf, the two bed I had, and there were some issues with the property maintenance side of the team on that side. Even though I do it myself, because everything was had to match, I couldn't just take out their parts and put in the parts to replace it. And then because of that, it was just making my reviews go down and it's making me look bad. So I just gave it back. So then now I just have my first baby is still here with me, working with me well and still being profitable. And I'm about to adopt a new baby or get a new one. That's why I'm smiling.
What made you feel like this is the stage where you need some support on your journey?
I feel like the last year or two has been testing in terms of the things that happened in Luton where it wasn't profitable. So I had to put a lot of my own money in to carry on with the deal. And I feel like a lot has changed from when I first started to now. And even being on the course for about a week or so, I've learned so much in that short period of time, which is new knowledge to me, which is stuff that has definitely changed in the last 4 years or so. So it's always good to upskill yourself, guys.
And so when you say a lot has changed from when you first started compared to now, what do you feel as though has actually changed? Is it the market, the competition?
The market, the competition, the resources that you have to put your property on now, there's more to it. Where before it was, all right, speak to the landlord, broker your deal, find the sourcer, put it on Airbnb, put it on booking.com, market it, make your website, general stuff, get a MailChimp, collect your guest data.
So how's that different from what you were doing before, like back in 2020?
I feel like now you have stuff like Price Labs where you can alter the dates to fill in the blanks. You're not just sitting there waiting aimlessly. You're told now to keep twiddling with your listing.
Yeah.
There's more resources to reach out. There's like, you can make it just for corporate people. It was accessible before, but now I feel there's a bigger pool for you to get more done to make sure that your property is forever full. Occupants, high occupancy.
When you first came across myself and Joel, what did you think it was going to be like? Before you started this program?
You know what? Initially, because you always start with a 15-minute, well, not even a 15-minute, you say book your call and then you go through they ask you a whole lot of questions to see whether you're right or whether you and them will be a great fit. So from their introduction, or even before speaking to them, I would look online, go through their little bit of literature, learn about what they're doing in the space. I've looked through a few, but this one stood out to me. But I kept saying, I want a new unit, I want to learn more. So I'd keep on saying it, but then nothing was fitting or going with what my heart wanted to be.
Yeah.
And I prayed about it, and then you just popped up and kept on popping up. So then it just kind of felt right, and I went with it. And then when it's asked me the questions, it kind of felt like what I wanted to learn, it aligned with what I want to do, and it can help me on my journey to get to there.
And so would you say you were at all hesitant before starting and jumping onto the program?
No. I said yes straight away.
So you were just bought into the whole vision, bought into what we were saying.
I feel like the time is right now. Like I was saying
That's
to you, everything's about timing and alignment. You keep manifesting, you think of it, and you ask your way in, and it's just kind of come. Even the deal that's kind of come right now, that's something that I've been waiting for. It wasn't coming before.
Exactly.
So everything's about perfect. It's God's time, really, isn't it?
Break down that deal a little bit that you just mentioned.
So the deal, someone in my family is a developer, and that the building's been sitting there for years. Not even years, maybe like 9 months to a year. I was there at the groundwork when it was just rubble, dirt, dust. It's supposed to go for sale. It's up for sale. I'm not gonna lie to you, it is up for sale. So anything can happen. But right now, I've got to strike while the iron's hot. It's already been empty. It means it's not supposed to be empty.
That's it.
In my mind, I've always said I want to do that with it. But they're just taking long to accept it. So then I asked, after speaking to yourselves, I think in my first meeting, I did it.
Yeah.
Then look, I've come back to you and said, oh, funny enough. Then we spoke on Thursday this week and they said, how much would you like to pay? We went through some numbers and I was like, no, I'm going for this one.
That's it.
We've had nothing for so long. Something is better than nothing.
Cool. So your uncle had a set price in mind. You actually managed to bring that price down, or that rental price down,
Yeah.
through negotiating and
Just
knowing
saying.
your position in the market.
It's empty.
That's it. That's it. And you had a lot to offer him. Before jumping onto the program, you said or mentioned that you had bought a course before, which actually got you initially into Airbnb. Did you consider, or from what me and Joel were saying, did you think this was going to be another program that you're going to jump into and never use again? Or what's it been like so far?
It's been pretty hands-on. You've been consistent with communicating with me, making sure I'm staying on board with content or the literature that you provide. Any questions, you're always on hand, always quick to answer. And I like that. It makes me feel like I'm getting my money's worth out of it.
Yeah.
Not you're just giving the money and you just left me to it. You've actually come to see me today in a week. So
What would you say is like the most valuable thing that you've picked up from me and Mo so far?
I would say so far it's about making sure you got your goals, what you want, making sure your visions align, always making sure you check that deal is a credible deal so that you're not at a loss, and just making sure, which is something I'm even looking in, you have to check your unit every day, like go online. You know, I'm telling him that as well. Like, you've
not
got to go
passive,
on.
is it?
Yeah, you can't just leave it. You have to make sure that your title is doing well, the pictures, everything's like, just jiggle it so it goes back into the algorithm. But you don't ever think of that. When you put something up, you just think it stays relevant,
Yeah,
but it doesn't.
exactly.
It's
All of
always
that.
make sure you stay relevant. That is one key thing I'd say I learned this week.
Is there a point for you where you felt like, yeah, I've made the right decision jumping on board with these guys?
Definitely. From when you broke down what was wrong with my listing, and then yesterday or 2 days ago, you was like, even though you did go through it with me, when you like put your listing in here, the Canary Wolf one, and go through it, and going on to property marketing. So just learning other resources to make sure that it's correct. So even though you may think, does it work? When you add up everything and the cost to run the building and adding the cleaning fee and stuff like that, you just got to make sure that you're feasible. So if I do get 10 stays at that said amount, I'm all right, rent's hit. Then the extra 5 I can, and then the rest is take home.
So what's something we've helped you with which you didn't expect help on?
I'll say the first part is analysing my listing and showing me where I'm going wrong. And I think initially you need that, because although, yes, I have been doing it for 4 years, I don't know everything. I knew what I knew then, but obviously I need to make that better so that I can make the most out of what I'm doing now, because I've let go 2 units. I'm not trying to do that again. I'm trying to just stay up and continue growing. Growth is real and it needs to stay there so I can hit my goal.
You mentioned that, us breaking down your listing was something that you found very helpful. Why do you feel as though it's so helpful? Because you mentioned also the market isn't quite so much what it was, but that's where your listing stayed at. So when we broke it down, what change it would make towards your listing? Did it make sense to you?
Yes, because I think after he did change it, I got a later booking. I think that's the one that came in April. Did it, what, position?
Yeah.
A close one, but it's one in like a little 3 days. It did make a difference in the title.
And so how do you feel as though your understanding around the whole business, around Airbnb, has changed in just a week of being with us?
So it's changed a lot, because it's made me dive back in with confidence
Yeah.
to take on another unit and actually put the hard work in to hurry up. I actually want to get off the ground. There's little team things I have to fix, but I actually want to get off the ground, focus on it, and just hit the ground running with it, And I'm excited.
Is that where you'd say you got the confidence for this deal that you've got?
100%. 100%. Even though it's been there, like I said, it wasn't the right timing. I know how to do it now.
Do you feel as though you knew how to evaluate a property properly before?
No.
No, not anymore.
Now, yes, I could do it, help others to do it, and just build together and just keep pushing. Do you know what I mean?
How important would you say having that confidence is?
Very important, because when you're not confident, you kind of if and but. You don't even take the step. You think about it, but you don't necessarily move. I've accelerated and moved fast in a week. If I wasn't stopped now, I'd be out in IKEA, in Daniel, in August, buying my bits right now.
We're actually slowing Cora down right now,
But
guys.
no, this is not. This is
She should
still
be
part of
furnishing
it.
her unit right now.
And so what do you feel as though you would have done differently had you not have joined with us?
Maybe I wouldn't have the unit, because I feel like everything aligned at the right time. Like I said, for a reason, for a purpose. It wasn't given to me. God didn't want me to have it yet. It wasn't my time. Like I said, do you know how long that's been sitting there? When you drive past something every day,
Facts.
I have to expect my blessings and be grateful that I met you guys. And hopefully we get to go on big holidays and celebrate. You know what I mean?
Where do you see yourself, or where are you trying to get to in the next 90 days?
In the next 90 days.
With all this knowledge that you have, the confidence that you now have from working with myself and Joel, where do you see yourself trying to get to?
I want to have another 2 to 5 units.
You got a monthly income goal?
Realistically, about 6 to 8K.
So for someone who's sitting on the fence about working with me and Mo, what would you say to them?
I would say, you know what, you've been looking at them, you constantly see their content, don't hesitate. Book that call. It's definitely worth it. You will know by speaking to them in your first call with them. It's actually face to face as well. It's not over the phone. You're on a Zoom call. You can ask them, you can look right in their eyes. Integrity is real. You get their authentic self. Everything I'm seeing now is what I saw last week before I enrolled myself on the course. It's not a waste of time. Do it. Don't be scared.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. And watch out for Cora as well. She's about to go on to do some big things.
A dangerous one.
Appreciate your time, Cora. It's been good catching up. Thanks for showing us around. Thanks for trusting in me and Mo to help you progress on your journey as well. I'm very excited for the things that you're going to do. Big things coming. So excited for that. So if you guys have enjoyed this or this has sparked something inside of you, then the link to book a call with us is in the description. So if you're on the fence and wanting to get started in Airbnb, hit that link, book a call with us, and let's have a chat. Thanks for watching the video. Catch you on the next one.